The business case for green buildings. What is a green building? There are different complicated definitions for green buildings. But simply, a green building is a building that is environmentally responsible and resource efficient. Responsibility about environment and energy efficiency should be considered in design, construction, and operation of green building. To make a green building, there are three main categories that should be considered. The first is building's envelope that should be act as an energy efficient barrier to maintain the interior temperature and air quality. Instrumentation that is called to all facilities and devices that work together to generate and control the desirable condition in the building. And operation to assure that the system will work perfectly during its life cycle. Now we will explain each of these items briefly. Envelope. Design, construction, and material are the items that should be considered for green building envelope. Envelope design. There are lots of techniques to be used in building envelope design. One of well-known design techniques is passive solar building design. Passive solar building design works based on sun ray angle difference in summer and winter, and also uses thermal mass for saving the heat. Thermal mass is called to a dense construction material like stone or concrete. This short video explains the passive solar building design technique quickly. Enjoy the British accent.
The winter sun shines down into the living rooms. The heat is stored in the thermal mass. As the air inside the house cools during the night, the heat in the thermal mass gets re-released back into the room and helps to maintain the internal temperature, requiring less heating. In this fly-through of the home, you can see how the winter sun is penetrating into the living room from the north side and how the concrete floor slab is storing that heat to be released at night. You can also see the living room is fully lit from the winter sun, requiring no artificial lighting in the daytime. The summer sun is higher in the sky, so with correctly sized and proportioned eaves and other shading devices, you can keep your home cooler by keeping the heat out. During the day, as the air inside the house warms up, it is absorbed by the slab, which is cooler because it is in contact with the cooler earth. This keeps the internal temperature cooler. At night, as the air inside the house cools, the heat from the slab moves back into the room. It's important then to have breezeways which can be used to cool the house by opening windows or doors. Looking at the interior of the home in summer, you can see that occupants are shaded from the harsh sun.
There are also some other design techniques. One of them is adding external window shades based on summer sun angle. The other technique is building's perimeter reduction to decrease heat transfer rate with ambient. Envelope construction. To make a well-insulated envelope, a good quality of insulation elements like extra high efficiency insulation, double or triple glass insulated windows, and sealed doors and openings must be used. Envelope materials. Commitment to environment shouldn't be forgotten anytime. That's why using green construction materials like non-toxic materials, recyclable materials, and possible recycled materials is necessary. Instrumentation. For increasing energy efficiency of the building, various technologies are available. Some of them are solar power generation, solar water heaters, solar air heaters, energy efficient appliances, and energy efficient illumination systems. For water waste reduction, basic water treatment can be implemented to reuse the water in the building. The gray water from washer and shower can be treated in 3 steps and be used for irrigation, toilet flush, and shower again. Smart home technology. There are lots of stories about smart home technology, but related part to green building is instrumentation controlling and energy management. For example, the building illumination system could be automatically adjusted based on usage or daylight. Green building market. Dodge Data and Analytics has released a report about World Green Building Trend in 2016. The results in this report are drawn from survey respondents from 69 countries around the world. Based on the report, in 2015, 12% of companies had no project involved in green buildings and 26% had only up to 15% of their projects involved in. At the same time, 18% of companies have been involved with green building in 16% or more of their construction projects. However, the expectations for 2018's market trend is totally different. As the graph shows, construction companies will have much more green building projects and only 8% of them will continue their job far from green building industry, while the number of companies that have 60% or more green building projects will double. This chart is showing the different sectors with planned green activities over the next 3 years. As we can see in the first row, about half of the new commercial projects will be green. But only a quarter of new residential and development projects will be green buildings. But what drives people to be interested in green building industry? According to these 4 charts, client demand, environmental regulations, and lower operating costs are increasingly drive people to get involved in green buildings. And the blue graph illustrates that construction companies are not building green just because of branding anymore. Let's take a look to Canada's market. This chart shows that how green building industry is growing in Canada. Next year, half of construction companies will have more than 60% of their project involved in green buildings. While in 2011, about half of the construction companies had 15% or fewer green building projects. These graphs are presenting expected use of green buildings in 2017 in Canada. In 2017, about 80% of institutional projects will be constructed green. 70% of commercial will be green as well. Share of residential new constructed buildings is expected to be 60% for houses and townhouses and 50% for high-rises. Cost of green buildings. Generally, people think that green building is expensive, but based on RBC Bank financial study about green buildings, constructing a LEED certified building has no extra cost. Getting a silver LEED certification will cost only 1% more. The extra cost for a gold certification is 2.7 and for a platinum certification is 7.8%. City of Seattle computed cost of meeting silver LEED standards through all projects in Seattle. The result was 1.7% extra cost in green building projects. In United States, cost of 33 green buildings is compared with conventional design for those same buildings. As a result, average extra cost for green buildings was $3 to $5 per square feet. equal to 2%. Result analysis was interestingly showing that the main source of extra cost in green building projects is time. In comparison with routine projects, extra time is required for green buildings engineering and architecture design, modeling cost, and integrate sustainable building implementation in the projects. Benefits. According to US Green Building Council report, owners of green buildings ROI is improved by 19% on average for existing green building projects and around 10% on average for new projects. This improvement is because operating costs decreased by 13.6% for new constructions and 8.5% for existing building projects. Moreover, overall vacancy rate for green buildings in United States was 15.7%, 4% lower than for non-green buildings. To have a better image, let's take a look to rent and sell price of green buildings at Los Angeles. The average sell price for conventional building in LA is $220 per square feet. But average price for an Energy Star certified building is $244 and for a LEED certified building is $329 per square feet, which is $109 higher than a regular building. For rent-a-place, average monthly rent for a regular building is $2.16 per square feet. But if you want to pay less on bills, you have to pay 53 cents more for an Energy Star certified building and 75 cents more for a LEED certified building. Let's have a glance at two more examples about green buildings construction and operation costs. This 5-story office building in Maryland that was built in 2010 was expected to cost $155 per square feet, but was finished with $154 per square feet. The other example is San Francisco Federal Building located in Mission Street. This ugly building is designed in 2002 and occupied in 2007. The total annual bills for such a building in San Francisco is about $1.5 million. But this building is only one-third of what it should be, $500,000. Role of governments. Currently, conventional buildings are responsible for 55% world's total energy use, 50% of all material and resources use, 50% of wood use in North America, 35% of world's carbon dioxide emission, 25% of freshwater withdrawal, and 80% of potable water use. As we saw, buildings are making a lot of emission in the world. And based on Kyoto Protocol, all countries are committed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. One of the committed countries to Kyoto Protocol is Canada. Canada's commitment is 17% reduction in greenhouse gases emission from 2005 to 2020. Till now, this commitment is not being met. In fact, Canada's carbon emission in 2005 were 3% higher than they were in 2003. To achieve its goals, Canada's government has designed national and provincial incentives through different organizations to reduce greenhouse gases emission. Canadian Green Building Council waives registration and certification fees for LEED certified registered charity projects for Home Affordable Housing Program. Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation offers a 10% CMHC mortgage loan insurance premium refund to buy an energy-efficient home or make energy-saving renovation. Genworth Canada offers 10% refund of Genworth mortgage insurance premium to home buyers purchasing an energy-efficient home or making energy-saving renovations. TD Bank provides a discount rate of 1% lower than the post 5-year fixed mortgage rate. TD also offers a cash rebate for certified solar panels. RBC Energy Mortgage Program offers 1% off the loan interest rate on a home energy audit on a fixed rate installment loan over $5,000. And BMO Eco Smart Mortgage offers a mortgage rate at 3.29% on 5-year fixed mortgage for energy efficient homes. Conclusion: constructing green buildings does not cost extra necessarily. Building or using green buildings is profitable. Market demand for green building is increasing globally. Constructors and buyers of green buildings can benefit different available design incentives.